Hey, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Back with another video for you guys. Today we're getting ready to do a radio installation aftermarket for a 2009 Honda Pilot EX-L. We're getting ready to take the dash panel off and get started on the new stereo that I decided to go with, and it should be pretty nice. I'll show you all the parts and everything that you'll need. Alright, so let's get to it. You're gonna need your keys to do all this stuff. You're gonna need a Phillips and pretty much some trim removal tools. So you might want to pick you up a kit of these guys if you don't have one. And let's just start up at the top here and see what we can get as far as working it out. And let's just start gapping. And however we can get it to pop, we're going to. There we go. All right, now let's just work it around. And I'm just prying a little bit at a time, and this whole piece should pop up here in a brief moment. Let's see what we had over here. All right, let me keep popping. And looks like we're gonna have to pop off this whole piece here. So let's just keep going. These are real cheap. I should have got my heavy duty ones. There we go. I think I broke a clip. There we go. Let's see what happened. All right. Oh, I just knocked off one of the white tab pieces. I'll show you that in a minute. All right. Now we got our outlet. And you want to just be gentle. You got to push and pull in the back for that. Give it some wiggles and pulls. All right. So one of these popped off up here. Let me get it. Hopefully it didn't break all the way or anything like that. And it looks like it did. So that's one of the closer tabs up here. Hopefully we can go back in and it doesn't affect anything. Otherwise I'll go online and order one of these guys. All right, so we got that one out the way. Let's come on to the other side. So it's a possibility that you might do the same thing. There we go. This one coming out a little easier. Just giving it some tugs and pulls. One more pop, I'll be happy. There we go. All right, so got this side loose. Now we're gonna need our key. On position. Let's move this down. Turn that off. Guess we're getting rid of that guy. All right, from here you got your two plugs. I'll remove those. Push and pull tabs. If I can get to it good. Looks like it's gonna be easier to come out from this side. Give it some wiggles. Let's come up to the top for our hazards. Give it a squeeze and pull. See what we're looking like. Right here, squeeze and pull. All right, let's put it back in park and let's cut our key off. We might have to move it again, but just for now, let's put it back in park. Got both our panels off. Okay, you're just gonna squeeze and pop them out. All right, let's move this guy up here out the way. All right, now we're in here. Gonna have to remove these two screws down here, all Phillips. That's one. That's two. This should pop this guy out right here in the bottom. That's two. And let's see. And it's just about loose. Let's take all the rest of these out. We got four. And yeah, we're gonna have to move this down again. So let's just get started with these. Let's one, and these screws are different. These down here, they don't have a washer on them, okay? And the threads are a lot thinner versus these are thicker. And just remember that they go up here. I believe you can use an 8mm as well. All right, let's use the key again. All right, we got these two over here. There we go. One more here. And there we go. All right, let's put it back in park. Should be able to wiggle this up and out. This is gonna pop up, kind of like down and out. See if we can get it. There we go. Just kind of pry at it a little bit. Be careful so you don't break anything. All right, now that we got that free, let's go ahead and bring this back down. And this is my first time doing one of these, so I'm not really sure on everything, but I will be running backup cameras and all that stuff. All right, so let's see where this lies with this. There we go, just pops right out. Turn it back off. And turn off the heat. Off. And this one just pops out too, like that. All right, got those out. Let's slide this back in just a little bit for now. Let's get these out the way. Quit touching that button. And it feels like they're underneath. Yep, you gotta squeeze from underneath and pull them out. This one here. And if you can't get it, you might have to assist it with a screwdriver, but let's flip it over and see if we can get it that way. There we go. And let's go down to the next one. All right, got both of those out. You got one more here for your light. Squeeze that and pull that one out. All right, so these plugs are different. So the blue's gonna go on this side, this one's going on this side, and this one's gonna go back in for your light. All right, set that out the way. Put this back in park. Now, see if we can get it. There we go. And let's turn it off first. All right, now let's try to remove this guy again. I forgot that I had to have it out. All right, so we got all these wires in the back, and they're kind of hard to see. So you're gonna push and pull most of them out. Well, they all have push and pull tabs, so let's just get them out. One here, one here, one here. That's quite a bit. Let's just start getting them out as we can. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. We got a weird one back here. Might have to look at something to see how to get that one out. There we go. Another one. It's like several, about 5 of these guys back here. And we got one more that's a weird one. And might have to look up and see how this one comes out so I don't break anything. But it has this little white tab on here. So might have to look this up real quick. This little white tab right here. All the rest of them come out. So you got 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 here, 5, 6 harnesses. All of them are here, and they all go, not all of them, but some of them go to the head unit, and the rest go down here to your heat controls and everything. So yeah, we got that out. Let me turn this off and start setting back up, and I'll let you know what else to do while I'm in here. Be back. Okay, after looking up some stuff, guys. All right, so new style connector here. You're gonna have to push this piece down this way and then lift it up to get that guy up and out of there. So let me do that now. I'm not gonna be able to hold the phone and do that at the same time. So let me set back up on my tripod here. And I just wanted to show you what I'm about to do with that. Make sure we got a good shot. All right, let's go ahead and try it. We got it pretty much all the way out, so I'm gonna squeeze it down and then lift this up like that, and it should rotate up like so and pull it out like that. All right, so we got a couple more connections at the bottom, so let's rotate it again. It should be for our heat controls back here, and you got 2 for that. Let me show you those real quick. They're brown, and we'll pop those out. All right, so we got these 2 for your heat controls, one here and one under there. So we're gonna pop those out. You got these push tabs here and a push tab there, and they're gonna slide right out. Okay. And yes, I will be installing all this stuff over here. My subwoofer, my remote wire, RCAs for the subwoofer, and my backup camera. Gonna install all this so it'll be behind the dash already for when I decide to do the rest. But today is the radio, so just showing all that stuff too. But I want the wires, all that stuff behind here, so I don't have to pull this guy back out and fish her through and all that. So let me pop these 2 guys out. That's 1, and that's 2. All right, so now that we got the head unit fully removed, reason why, well, I'll show you here in a brief moment. This is a double DIN, so you actually could remove this and transfer it. It might not be perfect, but this V right here is why I went with a specific radio for this guy. So yeah, let's get out of here and start transferring stuff, and I'll show you what I went with and the kits and parts numbers, all that stuff. So be back in a brief moment. All right, so we over at the bench. So from here, this is the kit that you get, and you're only going to be, unless you have Sirius, Cyrus, all that extra radio stuff, you're only going to need this guy and an antenna. So this is the parts number. I ordered this all together as far as these guys. It came as a kit from Amazon. I think it was like $28.99, so just say 30 bucks. But this is the parts number here. Got the Honda Pilot right there, let you know. This is a single DIN, and I decided to go with a single DIN only because they don't have a kit for this guy, and I'll show you the specific single DIN that I went with. But these are all the parts numbers, and this came as a whole set, and that's the radio antenna harness. So yeah, this is the guy. You're gonna have your little sleeve in right there where it snaps into the factory. But yeah, you're only gonna be using one harness back in, and just your harnesses for your heat controls here for as main harness, 2 wire connectors. I will be installing backup wires and all that stuff for as RCAs and stuff as well. So on this, only thing you're going to need are these clamps up here at the top. So these are Phillips. You're going to have to transfer these, and make sure you transfer them the exact same way, because they got like a slight tilt angle to them where they're facing up in the air a little bit. So let's go ahead and tear open this bag from Metra, and I'll show you what stereo I decided to go with. And as you can see, it's already Honda Pilot set, and this one is broke, man. I gotta go and, whoa, Amazon. Didn't know it was gonna be broken, so that's gonna be a problem. Maybe, maybe not. It's not really broken, but it's got some flex to it. Yeah, it's got a crack right here. So yep, and went on ahead and broke off. Yeah, cheap stuff. Because you're supposed to cut these out. I could probably still do this, but it's not gonna hold the radio well. Why has it gotta be made so cheap? Okay, let me figure out what I'm gonna do. I know I'm gonna have to contact Amazon. Be right back. All right, so I figured I'd try this with my soldering iron and just try to melt these corners in, instead of trying to go all the way back and waiting to do this install, because I done snatched out everything. Could go buy one, then come back, but yeah, let's just mess with it. I think it's going to work out. And I was just kind of melting it together up in here. And hopefully that cools good. And let me go ahead and turn this off. And let's start clamping these out, see what we get. Worst case scenario, still got to send it back. So, yeah. Let's take our snips. Let's go ahead and release these guys. And just like I figured it would do, broke our way off. Sucks, but be back in a moment. Okay, so basically I'm stuck unless I fix this, but I'm gonna try to install this anyway. This is so thin, okay? So thin around here that this piece is basically just gonna snap in. The radio is really not gonna be held by much because they're so flimsy, and it's supposed to sit like this. So you seen what happened, it broke out. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to install this anyway and just pop this in after I get the radio in. So that's where I'm at. I'm already in the process of contacting Amazon. I also even thought about removing some of these screws over here and reusing this bracket, which is possible to be reused. But instead of going through all that, let's go ahead and start unscrewing these guys and transferring this over. And that's the way we can go ahead and see what we get. I'll show you the radio here in a moment. All right, so you got 2 screws on each side to remove your heat controls. So you got one here and one here and one here. So that's on both sides. So let's get started on removing those. But yeah, this kind of sucks that broke, but it's so flimsy it probably will break on again on the next shipment because they didn't put it in the box, and they should have. They don't make stuff like they used to. All right, so we got our one screw out the side, and they might be different sizes, so get a magnet tray. This one from this side. And this one up here looks like it's going to be a little different. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm going to try this, so just bear with me. And I hope it works out. So then I'll show you the radio here in a moment. Okay, so all these guys are pretty much the same. Yep, camera, sorry. Yep, they're pretty much the same. So just hand tighten them and hand take them out. Let's do this one too. And save your old one just in case you want to take your radio with you when you get a new vehicle. Alright, so it's kind of a weird design just to mess with the dash. I wouldn't have made it, I just made it a box. But oh, let's make something different. Alright, so we got those off, and we should be able to just pull these off right now. Let's see. It's got some little pull nipples on the side. And we're going to release this some more. Right, because we don't want to break that. So let's just unscrew these guys just enough. Get those out. Because it's got little tabs on the side. And these look like 10 millimeters. Don't quote me on that, but I'm glad it's got the Phillips heads. And we should be able to drop this all the way out now without having to take the whole thing out. Just need some wiggles. Just like that. Alright, so let's transfer this guy to the new one, which sucks. This goes at the bottom, and you got some hook spots and all that stuff. So that's going to go at the bottom. See where it's going to sit, just like that. So it'll meet up right there like that. And let's just make sure we in our grooves and our holes and stuff. There we go. And that's what it's going to look like. I like that. Alright, let's get one started at the bottom here. Well, at the top, going in from the bottom. That's the way they have done it. So let's pop one in, let it sit there for a minute. And I'm just going to set this up for now. Got a couple of twists on it. Let's get this side in. Yeah, I wish they would have had a little bit of a better design for us this thing to secure it better, but we get what we get. All good. I'm just gonna build this guy. Sorry if I'm not on camera, I'm just trying to be careful and not crack it or anything, because it sucks if it does. See, it's already got some flex right there, so let me support it. And then this thing kind of sucks. Having to support the plastic to keep it from bowing on me. And let's get this one in some more. Okay, that one's tight. Says pretty tight fit. This is the side that's still loose. And let's just flex it and tighten it up some more, holding it. All right, see how that feels? Oh yeah, that's on there pretty good. All right, it's gonna secure it once you put the side pieces on, but let me show you what I decided to go with. And give me a second, we're gonna do a bench test. All right, so this is what I decided to go with, just so I can still get my double dent effect. The flip out Pioneer AVH 3500 NEX. So let's get it open. And I've been excited to install this. Unfortunately, got some broken pieces, but it comes with your mic. We gotta back up a little bit with the camera. And let's tilt a little better. All right, so it comes with your mic. Comes with your harness and everything to hook up for your backup camera. I forgot this specific year, make, and model. Far as any Pioneer, usually you have to do a parking brake override if you want to have your DVDs play. So probably gonna have to put in a toggle switch as well. I'm just gonna run the wiring and everything, so it's gonna have to have a ground to show that it's ground, to make sure that it's grounded, to not engage the parking brake. But anyway, let's get the stereo out. It's my first time installing one of these guys. Not my first flip out, but this specific year and model. Let's just move everything to the side. But I'm thinking the way, even though this broke, it's not really much holding on. It's just more of a cover for the top. So I'm thinking I'm gonna still be able to use it. I might just get a bad review as far as the quality, but yep. So let's do a bench test on this. See what it looks like. So basically an unboxing installation today. All right, so we got all this stuff on here. Let me set up with the wire harness and everything, show you what I do to do a bench test. But I'm thinking it's gonna work out pretty good. This is how it's gonna sit in there. After you get your brackets and everything on there, it's gonna sit like this, okay? And it's looking pretty good. After you get your brackets and stuff on the sides, it should mount up pretty well. So let's go ahead and proceed and see what we get. Yeah, let's proceed, see what we get. Hopefully we get some good results. But right now, not quite sure. So let's get it in. So let me untape some of this stuff and set up for a bench test, make sure it's working correctly, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're ready for the bench test. I'm using my Milwaukee 12-volt battery, and I'm twisting my accessory wire and my power wire together. And let's see what we get. I'm gonna test the DVD player. We're not gonna have sound. Let's see what we get. All right, me spinning this way a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and hit English. I'm not quite sure. See, is that the tilt? Oh, let's do the English and all that first. Network mode, we're just gonna do standard mode, speaker mode settings, all that stuff later. And let's do okay. All right, so the head unit is working. Let's see what we can get with this DVD and figure out how I'm gonna go about toggle switch and stuff like that. All right. And it's gonna do its thing, and I'm gonna do the trigger where you gotta touch the ground, then touch it again. Let's see if I have to even do that. Don't know anything about the stereo. Disc menu. All right, let's try it. Touch, off, touch. All right, let's hit okay. All right, so that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do a toggle switch. And let's unpause it. Don't know too much about the stereo at all. Let's go to key, hit play. do top menu, key menu. All right, so we know it's working. Let me go ahead and disconnect this. And let me play around with it, see how it works and all that. I'll be right back, but it is working. All right, so it is playing video. Let's see if it'll hit play. Play the movie. There it goes. All right, so might have to put a toggle switch in, might not. I will know here in a brief moment. But yep, let's go ahead and start hooking it up to the bottom casing and the heat controls real quick. Back in here. All right, so got everything in. Let's see how it cooperates. I'll button all this back up in a bit. Got my ground over here to make me a toggle switch for my DVD player and everything. Bypassed all that. I know this broke, but I'm thinking it's gonna fit great after I put these in. Oops. Let's see what we got. After I put these in, I'm gonna cut this off and it should just snap right in over the bezel right here. All right, let me stop that real quick. No copyrights. All right, so we got that working. All right, so let's go to our DVD. All right, so this is the finished product. Just wanted to say that I had to remove a couple of things. Like for one, had to remove the bezel from around the radio. And I didn't have to do any dremeling or anything, but also had to remove the sleeve in order to get this to go in with this specific kit. That piece that did break on the sides, I'm glad it did, kind of not, but you can see I have a baby gap, but me transferring those over and just popping them in like I was saying before. But anyway, let's get to the music. The stereo comes with a remote, all that good stuff, and I know this video is longer than other installations, but had to transfer pieces over and stuff like that. Let's just turn this to the on position and let's get it in. Cut this off for a minute. Let me make sure it's switching because I had an issue before. So I had to disconnect and reconnect everything. Just want to make sure everything's transitioning correctly, and it is. Let's turn that off for a minute. All right, I'm gonna turn this light off too so you guys can see. All right, so we're going English. I gotta move this stuff out the way. Hopefully they'll stay there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put in a toggle switch. I haven't done so yet, but let's get to the Bluetooth and let's see what we get. And we about to pause that so we don't get no copyright. And let's find something that we don't get a copyright for. All right. Now I haven't played with any of the settings or anything, and it sounds real good. Mess with it a little bit. So much different stuff that it does. I did run my mic and everything for the sounds real good with all this factory in here. But yeah, very nice stereo. It's got all these other options, radio and all that stuff. Let's see if we can find a cool channel. Yeah, nice radio. Installation went well. Thank you guys for bearing with me. But yeah, this is a 2009 Honda Pilot EX-L, and there aren't too many videos out there that are full videos to show you the whole installation, as far as no fast forward and rewinding. But you see the bezel was broken, you know, in the beginning of the video. We was able to modify that. Let me close this real quick so you can see that one more time. And it came out very nice finish. So yeah, Pioneer AVH 3500 NEX. Thanks for watching the channel. Hopefully this helps you out on the installation and you get yours done and everything works out for you. So always remember, rust is the enemy on these things that causes us to work so hard. So till then, next video, I'm out.